Good morning.
Goeiemôre.
En ek moet sê, wat is goeiemôre dan in Afrikaans. I just returned from South Africa. It was a very interesting trip and a mind-opening trip, and how can I say, getting back to your roots type of trip. So yeah, I'm glad I did what I did. It gave me a lot of, I would say, courage for the future, but it also gave me a lot of to be thankful for. Okay, that was the one thing. The big thing of this whole trip was the thankfulness to be back in New Zealand.
With your wife.
Okay, with my wife and my kids and all the other people giving me crap always. So yeah. I actually flew back in. Was it on Tuesday morning?
Yes.
Arrived at
Monday morning.
Ungodly hour of 0000, and then had to wait at the airport so that the little dog can sniff me. And then I had to look and I had to tell them about everything I brought, and came back and eventually booked into the Chorus Hotel. Had a congress yesterday and came back home. The wife actually made me a good stew. It's a good one last night. So yeah.
Good. I think one thing that everyone would like to know is, how did you enter South Africa with everything that's going on now with the
Everything that's
passports?
going on and everything that I've read now and so forth, and a lot of people having a lot of
Different
problems.
opinions.
Yeah, I actually thought, because I needed to get in as quickly as possible, I was willing to try with my New Zealand passport, but I just thought, no, let's not do that. I entered with my valid South African passport, and I exited with my valid South African passport. The problem is, if I wanted to exit with my New Zealand passport, they were going to ask me where the stamp was.
For coming in.
Yeah, I know that would open up another can of worms. So I don't want to do with too many worms with people who don't understand.
Yeah.
So
that is one thing that everyone has got different opinions about.
I think some people have been lucky that they could enter other ways around. So yeah,
I've entered with my New Zealand passport.
Last time we also went to the New Zealand. Yeah.
And I've never had a problem, but it seems like they've got a new system in place or something that picks up.
What they are trying to do is, but it's not working. The one that's like booms where you go, like in Auckland, you just
the e-passport.
Yeah, you do but it's big sign up. It's not working.
Okay, so, and I don't think all the South African passports has got the e-passport.
I don't know how. I don't know what, so. But anyway, but that's not working. So you won't get away that way in.
Yeah. So I think the one thing that you'll need to do if you want to enter with your New Zealand passport is maybe just renounce your citizenship in South Africa.
So that will be the next thing that I do.
So this is what we want to do now. We just have to get the forms, and I don't know exactly how it works, but that's the thing that we have to kind of do now.
And currently I was only in the Western Cape, so I can't tell you what the rest of the country looks like. Currently in the Western Cape, it's time for them to what is the grain? Corn? No, it's not corn. Corn is mealies. But the koring, they're busy harvesting the koring. The wheat. They're busy harvesting the wheat, so it's a bit of dust in the air, and it's rather dry. It was quite interesting. I actually thought that, or in my mind, I had this idea that it was wetter in the Western Cape this time of the year, but clearly it's not. So yeah.
And otherwise, how was it?
I can say one thing. The people that helped me anyway were always very, very friendly.
Okay.
I couldn't find any faults with them there and so forth.
I also found that when I went back at the beginning of last year.
People being very, very friendly.
Very friendly.
I can promise you there's so much wrong in the country that it is scary. And I learned this. I want to put this on the screen. That is quadrillion, 41 quadrillion rand. Okay, I want to try this. It's 41 380 513 104 0000. There's no sense in it.
000.
Oh, sorry, 000. There's no sense in this. Okay?
I don't even know how to.
That is the amount of money that the Hawks are currently investigating that has been stolen from the government. It is. When I first read it, I thought somebody must have made a typo here. And the guy goes further and says, this is not a typo. There's another case of $163 billion of gold that is missing. Okay. In South Africa, it looks like everything that there was is missing. The amounts of theft is staggering. I'm not taking the country down. This is the facts.
Yeah.
This is the facts. The amounts of money that they talk about is staggering. They do a few changes to hospital. 2.1 billion just goes. Nobody knows where it went. This is the things that are currently hampering South Africa from being anything.
And you spoke to some of the
I spoke to black, white, colored. I spoke to them all. And I wanted to know, how do they live? How do they live? How do they afford to live? To give you an idea, if you go to a place like Stilbaai, you can get a 3-bedroom house there for about 6,000 to 10,000 rand per month. But there's nothing to do there. So you can go there, but you don't have a work. So catch-22 situation. In Cape Town, 1-bedroom flat, 18,000 to 22,000 for 2-bedroom. And that's just rentals.
Yeah.
It's not monthly repayments. So this is what you pay someone to live there.
We think that the rentals in New Zealand is horrendous, but if you talk to the people that actually have to survive in South Africa, that is what they pay for rent.
Yeah, the house that we used to live in.
Yes.
And that was a we weren't rich people in South Africa. I want to be quite frank about that. We were
just middle class.
Middle class. That is going for, let's say, 25,000 rand. 25,000 rand a month. That is 500, 600 dollars a week.
Yes.
It's not very far off from where we are now.
Yeah.
The way I saw it, you have to earn about 50 to 70,000 rand in South Africa just to be able to breathe. And there's not a lot of people earning that.
No.
And I spoke to the one lady and I said to her, how do you guys live with the food prices? Because the food prices was always something that I thought was cheaper than New Zealand. This time around, it's very much on par with New Zealand. Not on everything, but most of the stuff is on par with New Zealand. And she said, sir, we're not living, we're surviving. Now, this comes from somebody who's earning, in my opinion, a middle-class salary.
Yeah.
So if both of you aren't working, you're working your ass off, you're not going to make anything in South Africa.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it is sad.
Yeah.
And the thing is, then when I saw with your last conversation that you had last Thursday, there were so many people giving you slack about what you are saying that you're taking South Africa down, but that is not at all what you were doing.
I promise you, I can take South Africa down. I've got a lot of information on that.
You were merely stating what you
I saw.
are experiencing. Yeah. And I know it's like you're allowed to, it's like having a brother. You're allowed to say something bad about your brother, but no one else is allowed to do that. And I feel the same about South Africa. You don't want anyone to take it down, but if this is the facts, this is not something this is what is sucking out of your thumb.
On the ground, this is what's wrong. This is not some story that I read in Huisgenoot or something like that. Well, I don't even know that Huisgenoot still
probably is. He brought me 2 South African magazines and I'm loving it.
Just to give you an idea, those 2 magazines cost 175 rand. So
it's worth it. Yeah, I think just having been back in South Africa now for a week, it probably just opens your eyes a lot. That's what happens to me every time I go back. When you get back to New Zealand, but for me, it is the most wonderful feeling just to be back in New Zealand.
Yeah. And I'll go there now. I just want to say good morning to Peter van Niekerk. Good morning, Vanita. Vanita's saying you made me stew because she's actually saying I'm Dick. Huh? No, man. Come on. Jeez. The one thing that at Cape Town Airport, I was there early in the morning. I was just there after 7:30, and being a bit early, I went to one of the restaurants. I actually went through passport controls. I just want to get it done. I don't want to be stuck somewhere with anything hiccups. I went through passport controls, got to the other side, walked around, and thought probably there'll be a Spur or something, but there wasn't. There was a little restaurant which looked nice. I actually walked past a few oysters. And I thought, these look nice, but you don't eat these before you get on a plane. That was my thoughts. And then I went into this little restaurant down there and sat down, and they had a lot of bread as a breakfast. I thought, I don't want to eat bread before I fly. I said to the guy, what about, can you do me lamb chops? He said, yes, I have lamb chops. And he went away and he came back and said, oh, sorry, all the lamb chops have been sold out. I said, okay. So what else? I told him, I want meat, and if me need be a pair of chips, nothing more. They came back and said they had this ribeye. So I made the ribeye, it was nice and everything. And went through the whole story, went onto the plane, sat down on the plane, and I suddenly heard my tummy make and I thought, not good. So as soon as we reached the air, I had to run to the bathroom. So and on a plane, it's not a good thing to have a number 2 on a plane. That was my first time in my life.
Oh my God, yeah, I can just imagine.
That was my first time in my life. Because you got to sit there, you got to squeeze in that small space. And on the one side, I never saw this before until now. On the one side, they've got this emergency bell.
Okay.
It's down there at your knee. So if you sit wide legs, your knee's going to put up the emergency bell, and they're going to come check what's wrong with you. Now you got to sit. And as soon as every time, because I went 7 times, I promise I went 7 times.
Man.
Every time I go into the plane, we hit turbulence. And then you're not supposed to be in the toilet. So that the lights will come on, put on your safety belt. There's no safety belt on the toilet. I looked, I promise you. And this plane would be shaking there. And I was trying to keep my knee away from. And
you were thinking maybe it will be your fault now that the plane has to turn around.
Yeah, that was my biggest concern was, if it was, I read this is stuff I read, okay? That planes have been turned around because somebody was in the bathroom and it stinks too much. And I thought, jeez, I'm going to be on the voorblad of the report, I mean.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
So yeah, that was, the first wrong move I did was to think I could hold it until Singapore, which was 11 hours from the first. Nah. Singapore, I got off and I rushed, ran to the nearest pharmacy. Luckily, as I walked out of the gate, there was a massive pharmacy in front of me.
Okay.
And I walked in and I thought, geez, somebody who looks like they can speak English. It was a Chinese chick, and I thought, I'll try you. And I said, yes, this problem. Oh, so come here, this and everything, and am I allergic? And I got all the tablets, and I just went grabbed the bottle of water, and she said to me, before you go through to the gate, that has to be finished. I said, don't worry about it. I'm going to drink this tablets.
It will be.
So I bought one of those iron-nated waters. I don't know what weird thing. Anyway. Yeah. But Singapore as an airport is actually lovely. You should see what they do.
I've heard
jeez, it's really, really, and I had to move between 2 gates. I did what they call the air tram or something like that. Yeah, self-propelled thing, easy. I just get in, get out. So that was really, really good. So yeah. But from now onwards, I will be traveling with a lot of other medicines in my grab bag.
We actually have to do that.
You have to
sometimes
do that,
forget about it. Yeah.
And geez, it's just one of those things. I mean, you can be without it. Ask me, you can be without it. That's not good. So yeah.
And have it in your hand luggage, not having
not having it take on. So you're gonna have it near to you. So once the airlines made money out of me because I didn't really drink anything. I just drank Coke. Also Coke. Didn't want to eat. I only ate 1 meal on all 3 flights, so I wasn't there. Probably why Vanita thinks I'm so thin. So thanks, Vanita. Yeah. Just Lorette Clausen saying, for us here in New Zealand, it was nice to get true updates about South Africa and felt that you brought South Africa down at all. Yeah, thanks, Lorette. It wasn't my intention at all. I just wanted to tell people what I experienced. The interesting thing is, you always think that South Africa's got some of the most beautiful beaches, and I still think it does have, except that it's extremely cold. On the one at Blouberg, I walked for about 50 meters or so, just popped off on the beach and walked, and there was even people sleeping on the beach. In makeshift shelters and stuff like that. So I haven't got the housing thing under control at all. That's still are still way far off. So, but I mean, if you steal that amount of money, I want to put it back on the screen. This is staggering.
I think a thing that happens when you have been in New Zealand for some time, and I've heard this from so many people, is when you then go back to South Africa to visit or whatever, the way that you look at things in South Africa changes. The way that you experience things that happens in South Africa is different. When you live in that situation, you kind of just you're just surviving, and you are in a very negative mindset, and no one can disagree with that. When you live in South Africa, you are not very positive.
Can I put Vanita saying it was designed, Jan, that you crap yourself all the way to New Zealand. Very, very true. I want to use the word compassionate.
When you are in New Zealand for a long time and you go back, you are more compassionate.
Anywhere in the world that I go, I look, point one, I'm a financial guy. So I want to put this up there. This is who I am. I'm a financial guy. I do the finances. I work with budgets. I look at what does stuff really cost versus what do people really earn. And this year we've been in quite a few places in the world. We've been in Thailand, we've been in the USA, and I've been to South Africa. And I look at every country the same. Every country the same. In Thailand, they are also poor, but the prices of stuff is affordable. You can be poor in Thailand and still live. In the USA, it's just very expensive, very, very expensive. And the poorer people, I want to call it poorer people, or people earning less, let me put it that way, they don't live in the cities, they live outside of the cities. So they make a plan.
Yes.
But I don't see them make a plan in South Africa.
Yeah.
I don't see that. There's just no easy way around it. If steak costs you 270 Rand a kg, well, I pay for the same steak, I pay $19 here.
The thing
doesn't make sense.
I think what got to me the most is that you think in South Africa, look, we're very spoiled. The people in South Africa are very spoiled with people that do everything for them. You've got someone helping you in the house, you've got someone doing your garden, and you, for some reason, think that paying them 250 Rand a day or 270 Rand a day is you are making you are making a difference in their lives.
And
you not.
This is what they must pay.
This is the minimum wage.
And that's the going rate. The thing is, that is the going rate.
And if you now look, and I remember when we were there 2-3 years ago, and I looked at what fruit cost, and I was thinking, you earn 250 Rand a day. You have to pay your transport back home.
Which is expensive.
Yes, and then you still have to pay something for where you live. And then you have to buy food for your children. And I was thinking there's no way that you can afford luxuries like grapes or fruit or whatever. You were probably just surviving on starch and I don't know. So I think that is the one thing that changes. The way that life is in New Zealand becomes a little bit...
Okay, let me take South Africa down. This is one thing that I'm going to take down. This is bad in South Africa. Absolutely bad. The bloody coffee. We've been spoiled. New Zealand has got the best coffee in the world, and I'm sticking to that. I drank coffee a few places already, and every time I think back and think, jeez.
And this is not just you making New Zealand sound very good. People from all over the world say New Zealand's
guys, we've got very, very good coffee.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
And I tried quite a few places in South Africa. I tried from upmarket coffee shops and places where say they've got specialty coffees. And come on, you're losing it. Even in Singapore, I drank coffee when I went there.
I want to ask you quickly. You met up with the guy that bought your insurance business. How does he say? How does the insurance cost now kind of relate to what people pay in New Zealand?
I actually met up with somebody else regarding that, and they reckon that it is still about price the way that they are now, which is more expensive than New Zealand.
Okay.
So that was the one thing that was also I was thinking. I mean, you need insurance in South Africa. You cannot get out of not having that. There's no ACC to fall back onto. The government health is in a shit state. It even looks like private health.
Yes.
And I'm not taking any company down now, but I spoke to somebody who had people at a specific place in Durbanville, which is private, and they had people dying there of sepsis, one after the other. So that's private hospitals, and it doesn't look like it's any good down there as well.
I don't know.
It's probably not in every
say
one.
that,
It's not
yeah.
in every, but this guy was very specific regarding this one hospital, and he said, you do not go there.
But you know what? And I'm not being funny now. That hospital has had a reputation since we left there.
Okay. No, then it's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So things doesn't change at all. The thing is just, if you don't earn a large amount of money in South Africa, you're dirt poor. Even if you earn something, if you don't earn a large amount of money, you're dirt poor. And unfortunately, that it is what it is. There's no way around this. I mean, I'm absolutely grateful. I'm absolutely grateful that I could be in New Zealand, and even if we're not earning the top range money, that I could survive here, and that I could live here, and that I can go out this morning and I can buy a very good coffee.
Yeah.
For instance, yes, the eating out
is still cheap.
Yeah.
Cheaper.
And then let's talk business.
For people coming from a different country.
Different country. I went there. I ate one steak at Spur. This is Spur, so I'm going to name him. I'm not shaming him. Name him. I ate a steak at Spur, and I had onion rings because I didn't want chips. Plus, I had 2 Heineken Zeros. Okay, and I gave the guy a 10% tip. That was 500 rand.
Yeah.
For one person. So, that the normal guy that earns that's 2 days of his work. Yeah. So, yeah, probably I would have bought the same steak in New Zealand for about $43. I would have paid $9 a Heineken, which is a bit more than what they charge in South
it is
Africa.
definitely still cheaper to eat out in South
only
Africa.
By a margin.
And the thing is, it is only for the rich people. You can't eat out in South Africa if you earn 270 rand a day.
I still see the average person goes to the Spur. Unfortunately, I didn't look and see what that breakfast. Remember in the past it used to be very cheap. So when I came to Spur, there's a lot of people sitting down there eating breakfast, but I didn't look at that because I don't want a breakfast. So if I go, I eat steak. So
but it is always nice going back, and it's just familiar. I like the familiarity.
I have to say that the first steak I bought didn't taste well. I didn't like the taste of that specific piece of meat. But thereafter, when I went to Mossel Bay, I bought from Tolly's, and I'm being quite frank, the was absolutely delicious.
Yeah,
it's absolutely delicious.
It's always been.
Yeah, and then I stopped at Albertina at the Geel Vet biltong place. And I unfortunately bought a lot of biltong down there, which kept me for about another week.
Yeah.
So,
and you were saying that the roads is in a good state.
Yeah. Just around the airport and areas where your black townships are, you can see where they burn tires, because that you can definitely see there's a lot of burning going on there, and that causes. I was in a smaller, or what they call not the smaller, called medium-sized SUV. And this thing used to have to go with this stuff. So,
but otherwise, if you're on the highways,
it looked good. Even I drove from the N2 all the way into Hermanus to go and see people down there for business, and even that road was really good.
Yeah,
it was really good. Yeah. Hermanus looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
If you remember Hermanus, I can't see anything changed there.
I think the Western Cape is still probably the place that you would want to go if you want to go back to South Africa.
I've got to say that places like Still Bay has been built up. There's been a lot of building going on there. Jongersfontein actually saw a dead whale down there, and that's where we saw the dead whale. Yeah. That was quite interesting. So I drove by the next day, and it was just gone.
Yeah,
there was no sign of the whale. So yes, certain stuff still works very well there. Let's call it that. Certain stuff works very well there. So
I think it's just the way that people live and the way that people think in South Africa. The longer you are away, the more you see that the way that people are thinking.
But one thing I realized is that I do not want to stop next to the road. I sometimes had to, while in New Zealand, I would just stop next to the road.
You just-
hanged in there and just
Yeah.
drove past them.
It's funny that
Yeah.
kind of that feeling of being cautious. Just it's like second nature
It
when
is.
you get back
And
to South Africa.
when I got in the car, I'd locked all the doors, and
Yeah.
at Tiger Valley, actually,
Mm.
I was stopped at the robot, and somebody was trying to sell me something, I don't even know. And on the other side, I could hear somebody
What?
touch my door handle,
Really?
but my door was locked. So
Yes.
this guy just touched and walked on. So
Oh my word.
you understand? It's
Yeah.
you're constantly somewhere open to something happening.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was broad daylight, and it was done so well.
Mm.
But I just heard that the door latch, tuck, tuck, and it was
Yeah.
already passed. So yeah, it's interesting.
And I want to say that for the people that did immigrate to New Zealand and for the people that are thinking of immigrating to New Zealand, and this is not bringing any country down or anything or bringing people down, it's what is your reason for immigrating? I think that is the one thing that you have to always keep not in the back of your head, in the front of your head. What is your reason for immigrating? What makes you that when you get to New Zealand, you are kind of up in arms about everyone that's saying that New Zealand is a good country? Why is it that some people want to bring New Zealand down, although they have the opportunity to live in this country? Was your reason for coming here maybe not the right reason?
I think whichever way I look at it, the reasons I had for moving to New Zealand was just strengthened now by me going
It's
back.
still valid.
It's still valid.
It's still valid.
It's still the reasons. For those who don't know, I went back to help my mum get into the old age home. She had a fall. She actually had 4 more falls just the day that I left. So it's not going well there. But I can say that the old age home where she is now, High Care, it's run well. I'm glad she's there. I've spoken to other people in while we were there, but that also has got their mums and those in old age homes, and the cost is staggering. One guy I spoke to was between 40 and 50,000 rand a month.
But that must be some. I don't know.
No, this isn't Durbanville. No, but you understand that's the way that people want to live. But it's still it's a large amount of money. And well, my mum's one is over 13,000 rand. That's without all the extras. So I just saw some of the bills came through this morning. There's quite a few extras coming up now. Yeah, and even that, if you have to add that to your daily expenses in South Africa, it's going to be a lot of money. It's a lot of money. So,
most people don't get a pension that can afford to live like that.
Well, my mom can't afford to live like that, and she's getting a pension from the peers of all companies.
So she's got a good pension.
Yeah,
the thing is, you
been
don't want
working her whole life.
You don't want your parents to live in a place that you would not live in yourself. So it is difficult, and it's a thing. While you were away, there were 3 other people that contacted me asking about the passport situation that needed to go back for their parents. So it is a thing, and I think it's coming for all of us. That is the one thing about immigration, being far away and being able to just be there for them.
And the fact is that this VFS can now do passports. Presumably it's going faster. I haven't over 1 or 2 people who's already got the passport say it's going faster. So I can't say it is going to be faster. You never know. But still, you got to do it the right way. You don't want to be stopped there at immigration just because you went in with your New Zealand passport, and now you get a lot of crap about that. That's the last thing.
That's one thing that I think people should sort out as soon as possible, or renounce your citizenship as soon as possible, so that when you have to go, that you can actually
I see the rule is actually, if you renounce your citizenship, you have to have the letter where they acknowledge that with you.
It's fine. I'll carry it with me.
That's fine. It's better than having a passport that expires.
I'll leave it in my passport.
All right. Guys and girls, that's me for taking down South Africa or not. It's up to you. I'll wait for the comments. Good morning to Arthur. Arthur Boucher also saying morning. Yeah, guys and girls, thanks for listening to me. Next week, we have somebody on the program that's got a very interesting story.
About what?
About health in New Zealand. Okay.
It's going to be good.
So that's going to be good. It's going to be a
Okay.
good one. And I think it's going to be a tearjerker as well.
Oh, no.
It's not that bad, but yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for everybody, and we talk soon.
Bye.